Now let's talk about how to factor trinomials where a is equal to 1. So to understand what we mean when we say a equals 1, what we're going to be talking about is factoring trinomials of the form ax squared plus bx plus c. What this means is the a and the b and the c will all be numbers. The x's will still be x's. So an example of this would be 3x squared plus 4x plus 12. A would be 3, B would be 4, and C would be 12. First, let's look at the case where A is equal to 1, which means that we will only be looking at examples like x squared plus 5x plus 6, where our first number is 1. And usually we don't write this 1. So our first example is x squared plus 7x plus 12. So our goal is to find the two factors that when you FOIL them, you get x squared plus 7x plus 12. So to do this, we know that our factors must start with x. The reason is because x times x is equal to x squared, and there's no number up front, so we don't have to worry about a number being with the x's. We don't have to worry about a coefficient. So now we look at 12. We know the two numbers must multiply together to get 12, so the different possibilities are 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. So let's try these. X plus 1, x plus 12. So now let's check it. X times x is x squared. And we're using FOIL now. X times 12 is 12x. 1 times x is 1x, or just x. And 1 times 12 is 12. Unfortunately, when we combine these, 12x plus x, this would equal 13x, and that's not equal to 7, so we know that this is incorrect. So let's try the next group. X plus 2 times x plus 6. And again, I'm just trying this next set of numbers, so let's check it using FOIL. X times x is x squared. X times 6 is 6x. 2 times x is 2x. And 2 times 6 is 12. Unfortunately, again, this sum, 6x plus 2x, is equal to 8x, which is not the same thing as 7x, so we know that this is wrong. So let's try our last possibility. If our last possibility doesn't work out, we would say that this does not factor, and we would write that it's prime, which means that it would not factor. So let's try this. Let's check it using FOIL. X times x is x squared. X times 4 is 4x. 3 times x is 3x. And 3 times 4 is 12. And now when we clean this up, I'm going to write it over here, we would get x squared plus 7x plus 12, and that is indeed what we started with here. So that means that our answer is this. This is our answer. Okay, actually, when I said that these were all of our possible choices, in truth, there are more. We could have tried -1 and -12. We could have tried -2 and -6, and we could have tried -3 and -4. Because -3 and -4 do multiply together to get 12, -2 and -6 do multiply together to get 12, and -1 and -12 multiply together to get 12. So that means that there are 6 different choices. In this example, there would be even more choices. So we would have -1 and 14. We would have 1 and -14. We would have 2 and -7. We would have -2 and +7. I guess actually there are not more choices. There's actually less, because here there are 4. But the point is it is a lot of different choices. And wouldn't it be great if we wouldn't have to do all of these? Actually, we don't have to do all of them. There are tricks that we can use to prevent having to find all of these different possibilities and check all of them. And so now let's look at some of those tricks.